Please, for the love of God, can you stop taking advice from people who do not know what they're talking about? I've got a grandmother and I love her to bits, but she has no clue what she's talking about when it comes to the fitness industry. She always undermines progress in this journey with comments like it's unhealthy to eat eggs because of cholesterol, or if you weightlift, all that muscle will turn into fat when you're older, or don't get influenced into taking steroids. It's all these small little comments that make you understand how the average person thinks. Someone who is born into this life and feels as if there's no way they can change what they're given. And I always find it helpful to understand the perspective of the average person, as it helps me gain a perspective as to why they are where they are. But you should never let these words of advice influence your path. Now, you might be thinking that's an arrogant thing to say, and yes, you will notice that when you start any sort of journey, you will be moving from point A to point B, and along the journey you realize that it's actually point C that you want to end up at. That takes a certain amount of humility to realize that what you originally had in mind is maybe not the best option. So for example, I wanted to build muscle. I tried keto for a bit and I realized that that was not for me. It really helps with inflammation, mental clarity, and losing weight, but not so much with putting weight on. So I went back to carbs instead. Another common piece of advice I hear is, you're only 18, or you're only 21, or you're only 25. This is a sentence that can breed some sort of doubt in your journey. You might be working incredibly hard, you might be saying no to going out, spending money on stupid things, and then someone will come along and say, oh, but you're only 18, or you're only 21. Now, at what point, because we can take that argument, at what point is it that you do need to get your shit together? Is it at 30? That feels a bit late, I think. So now, my thinking is, would you rather go to a bar where you're spending $5 on drinks, you're hanging around friends that don't want the best for you, and also there are relatively unattractive girls, shitty, repetitive music? Would you rather have that in your 20s, and then later on you've got to catch up for all the times that you did nothing? Or you work incredibly hard during 18 to 20, you work on a business, maybe passive income, maybe a degree, or some sort of job that you're trying to build up in, whether it's plumbing or engineering, electrician, maybe you waitering and you want to go to management, whatever it is. Would you rather have your early years be spent on that, so that one day you can spend time having fun in places that matter, whether it's going to concerts overseas with your friends that actually give a shit about you because they were there when you were working hard, listening to good music, spending time around high quality women, drinking high quality drinks instead of a beer every night, savoring the moments, feeling proud of where you are instead of anxious. Nothing worse than an 18-year-old anxious little kid sitting in a cheap bar around fake friends who every single moment he feels anxious about all the things he's not doing, he just takes another hit of his vape. Nothing worse than that. So I encourage you to just take a look around and ask yourself, do you want better in this life, and what is it going to cost you to get there? And to stop listening to the shitty little excuses that you hear from other people. Take it as the words from average people. Don't let it influence you. If someone is walking the walk, talking the talk, and they give you genuine, humble advice, listen. Listen. if you have a older brother or a great father. But if it's someone who has not accomplished anything and they are sharing some sort of cynical poke at what you represent, don't judge them. Listen and accept it as the perspective of an average person who's jealous of your position, and not just your position, but your trajectory.